Yes. Yes. Don't forget, man. Whatever you think about comes about. Whatever you focus on grows. So today we're focused on taco. We're focused on taco. The stock of taco right now is trading at, what are we at? $8.74. Yeah, it's attempted to break out here a couple times. It hasn't broke down. It's got earnings coming up. I'm up in this. If I wasn't up in this, I'd be buying it. Let me pull up something here. Del Taco Restaurants is an operator and franchisor of the restaurants featuring made-to-order cuisine, including both Mexican-inspired and American classic dishes. The company develops franchises, owns, and operates Del Taco quick-service Mexican restaurants. The company has approximately 294 company-operated and 299 franchise-operated Del Taco restaurants located in 15 states. This is one of our core trading positions. I trade a couple of these: Taco, McDonald's, Starbucks, and sometimes Denny's. But Taco is a position trade. Now, this company, most analysts think it's worth, in a perfect world, about $15. But there ain't that many people covering the stock, to be honest. There's like 4. Now, this is a penny stock, right? But this is a penny stock that's doing pretty good. I mean, this is a real company, like a real business. The company owns 294 restaurants. Not one, not two, 294, and they've franchised 299 more. What if they get to 1,000? Starbucks started with one fucking restaurant, and then they had 100, and then 200, and then, right? This is how it works. So if you're playing the penny stock sector, yeah, you'll hear a lot of people say these things are risky. They are very volatile. And because of that volatility, you get a chance to position yourself. And this thing's been as high recently as $11. I owned it at $11, all the way down to $8. And it's basically doing the same thing it was doing yesterday, selling you tacos through the drive-thru. Same thing. Not much has changed. The only thing that's changed is the Federal Reserve started talking. And that definitely slows down taco sales. Yelling, right? COVID. We ain't got enough workers. Supply chain problems. These are all legitimate headwinds. These are real reasons for businesses to go down. It makes sense. If you can't get enough workers and there's inflation, now there's wage inflation. We got to pay these people more to work there. Hello, would you like to buy a taco? They got to get paid. That causes inflation, right? Wage inflation. Not many people want to work right now. So there are headwinds facing these type of companies. McDonald's. We could look at the McDonald's stock real quick. Let's just look at the chart. McDonald's. Look at McDonald's. Now, McDonald's has been killing it, but this is a blue chip. This is A1 quality. This is not fucking Denny's. This is McDonald's. This is like owning a piece of Bitcoin or the S&P 500 or a high-quality mortgage REIT. This is an asset. Like, rich people own a piece of McDonald's. If you had $10,000 in here for the last decade, the shit's like $160,000. And all you had to do was nothing. Buy it and then shut up and sit down. And your money's gone up. And you say, well, that can't be. Yeah. Here's a monthly chart of McDonald's. For about a decade. Look, way down here. Remember the 2008 crash? Took a while. So all the people that bought when everybody else was terrified, and they bought shares of McDonald's, they've made a fortune. They didn't need to know anything about swing trading, options, leaps, futures, commodities. They didn't need to know any of that. All they had to do was buy it and sit on it. Most of the wealth that's generated in the world is not from people exchanging back and forth. You know that, right? I mean, really rich people. Like really fucking rich. People that own like Manhattan. A lot of them have owned it for 100 years. If you have a paid for condo in downtown Paris, you don't have to sell it. You give it to your kid. And maybe they borrow on it to buy 3 more. And then they get those paid off and they give the next generation 5 of them. And they become bearers of assets. Unusual human beings. Human beings who control things. Businesses, restaurants, bonds, Bitcoin, cash flows, royalties. Like they wake up with the idea of increasing their net worth and their wealth and expanding, not bullshitting. They don't wake up to go play in the park. They're trying to get rich. Like that becomes part of their day. How they make decisions, where they spend, how they go on vacation. You could own where you go on vacation. You say, well, I don't want to go there every year. I know, buy another one. Well, I don't want to go just to those 2 places. Okay, buy a 3rd one. Well, then I'm just going to go to those 3, buy a 4th one. When you want to stop, man. Maybe you're not that kind of person. So you see, some people are different, man. So let's look at taco. You say, yeah, Gerald, but this ain't McDonald's. I know. There was a time McDonald's wasn't McDonald's. And you say, what do you mean? Look at Uber. This is how long Uber's been in existence. Don't you wish you could go back to McDonald's like this? And you go, man, I wish my grandfather wasn't so stupid. He should have just bought McDonald's and held it for 40 years. He'd be so rich. I could name 100. I could sit here right now and go 3M, Kraft, Delta, Boeing, Bank of America. Like I just name stock after stock after stock after stock. Where if they'd have bought it and held it for 40 years, they'd be rich. They'd be rich. There's a bunch of them right now. That's not trading, though, is it? That's a different game. That's locking up, storing wealth, man. Let's get back to Uber. Uber's going higher. So all of these opportunities you see on these quality names where it comes down, these are buying zones. I mean, trading aside, put trading aside. You're just an accumulator of assets. You just buy things like that to sell them later. And guess what? If you were doing this last year with oil, you'd be getting paid right now. Twice. It ran from 30 to 60. Exxon did. It's a 100% return. But it took like, I don't know, a year and a half. A year and a half to double. Right? 25 becomes 50. And along the way, they're paying you. And then what? Sells off, sets up for what? You do it again. And this game plays out every day. But if we're looking at Taco, this is a small one. This Del Taco, you realize Taco Bell started like this too, right? You need to have some companies like this. They're legitimate businesses, not some fucking thing you can't understand. Like it's an actual business. You should have 5 or 10 of these. You're all grown-up people. Go get 5 or 10. There's 100 shares in this is $800. And you buy it. And then the next time it goes down, you buy another one. And you do that, and you do that for months and fucking years. And one day this is $38. And you've made, I don't know, 300, 400, 500%. Maybe you sell some, go buy something else. And as you're playing that game every day, day after day, fucking week after week, month after month, it accumulates and grows and expands. What you think about comes about. What you focus on grows. This is those people who wake up that own shit in Manhattan and Miami and Florida and Las Vegas and LA and own these dry cleaners and have all this money invested. They get up with the fucking intent to do that. You don't accidentally do that. You don't accidentally invest in Amazon. Like you seek it out, man. You're not trying to be a naysayer. You're trying to be an opportunity seeker. That's different. There's still people on here who don't even own Bitcoin. I mean, I guess it's got to go to $1 million and then they'll go, God damn, I guess I should buy some Bitcoin. Why? Because they don't have 10 minutes. They don't have 20 minutes to actually watch a video. They've made up an opinion without actually sitting down and looking. I know some smart people that have made that decision. Reminds me of that when email first came out, old people were like, I don't need email. Okay, grandpa. Well, I'm fixing to be a grandpa and I use email. You see what I'm saying? Nice, man. Taco, $8. It's above the 20-day moving average, man. Our first target, if you want to swing trade this bad boy, you can swing. Here's the thing. You could trade around it. You take some off. Guess what? It's probably going to go sideways, rip up, go sideways, pull back. So maybe it pulls back right about in here. Previous high becomes a... And then what? You could put some back on. And then it runs up, what, to 1080. Now, you can play that game. I do that a lot, man. I mean, if I've had a 40, 45% return on this move up, it's not going to keep going. It's not going to, it's not going to, what did Tip Rank say? What did my thing go off? It's not going to $15 overnight, man. That's going to take 1-2 years. And so along the way, watch. Let's look at Exxon. What did it do along the way recently? Look, it was already at 63. Sold off up in these extremes after huge returns. If you back this up, look at this. Look at this. It went all the way to 30. Almost any stock you pull up, if you look at weekly charts, you're going to see 50%, 60% fluctuations up and down on Amazon and Google and Apple. You're going to see these big move down, big moves up, right? And that's what the money flow does. It gives you an opportunity to say, where are we in the money flow? Because if we're on the low end, I can get in. If we're on the high end, I'm looking to what? Take some money to put it to work on what? The low end. And we call that rolling money forward. Let's look at a daily though. So look at this Exxon. We're up 11 straight dollars on the extreme RSI at a previous high. This could keep going, but everywhere you go, look, when price rockets away from this green line, I mean rockets up, it gets pulled back. That's normal course of price action. That's totally okay. Well, we want to try to take it down when we think it's the high, but we don't know that for certain. So we want to be able to let it run at the same time. We want to make the cake and eat it too. So we believe both can happen. That means I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Meaning it may go up, it may go down. Good. I need some money right now because I want to add the ones that look like this. So just looking at this chart, just looking at this, you want to be a buyer up here where it stopped before, or do you want to be a buyer down here in the bottom where it stopped before? On which side of the team do you want to be on? That doesn't mean this can't keep going up and this can't keep going down. But as a general rule, what is your trigger to enter a trade? On my Full Auto 1-1 boot camp today, I had some outtake videos that I had deleted. But I was saying in that video, number 2, there's a trigger. What's your trigger? So for me, it's the stage 2. That's where price is pushing above the 20-day moving average. And sometimes stage 2, stage 1 kind of get locked up. And you start to get these kind of whipsaws, but it keeps pushing above the 20, pulls back, keeps pushing above 20, pulls back. Well, you get the same thing on a stage 3, and it builds out. Often those things flip. But so the longer this plays out, often the stronger the move up. I can't quantify that. It's just something you see a lot. Look at Bitcoin. When was the best time to own Bitcoin? And the guy say, well, man, you're always looking in the past. Yeah, to look for what it looks like in the future. Come on, man. Open your eyes. So here's a daily on Bitcoin. Oh, man, this is so easy. Look at this. Look at this run. 50,280. We're just printing money, man. So, geez, look at this. Look at this move. Now, here's the thing. These were all moves, right? You say, Gerald, these were all trying to push. I know. It's trying. It tries so much to do a 2 that the 2 creates this big 1, like this big stage. It's trying, man. And you're seeing that moving average, they start to come together. And look, when they all come together is when that thing really rips. And so that was an indication, so was that. I mean, it take a minute to get going. We know that. We understand that. You know, but that's the way price moves. It moves sideways, then it breaks out, and then it moves sideways and then starts breaking down. Right? Isn't that what you're seeing right here? Isn't that what we're seeing? Sideways, up, right? Starts to go sideways. The only way to identify this sideways is by going back in time and walking through, where are we? That's a stage 2. There's no arguing about that. That's this. So once we can clearly identify, okay, boom, boom, is this a 3? And as you start looking at it, you can draw out the thing. And look, you had a 3 start to break, came back in the box. So what I tell you down here, when it comes out of the box and back in the box, that's super bullish. When it comes out of the box and back down, that's super bearish. That's telling you this is probably the top right now. And it pulled down, didn't stay down long. And that's the thing. You can't up here go, well, I know where it's going. No, you don't. You can hedge it. You could short it, but you don't know. And if we assume it's going to go down, where do I assume it's going to go? I'm assuming it's going to go where it stopped before. Now you say, sometimes well, you're looking in the past. I know, to create the future. So when I get that low, and you know every day I'm looking for, here's the high. So right now we know the lowest low to the highest high of the trend change. How do you know it changed? It went above the 20. So if I'm looking at this, my friend, where it says best time to buy from my book, The Money Flow, the reason we use the indicators, I can see price movement without you only need 4 bars, bro. You need 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 days can make a stage. So there is no 3-day stage 1, 2, 3. That's not how it works. It takes days to build a stage. But we don't know how many days inside of a stage. But we know it takes at least 4 to create a box of accumulation or a box. That's a box. And so they can form and then break down, and then start to form and then break down. But the confirmation that is done is it breaks above the 20, closes there, and then the trigger crosses it, which is the 5-day. And if you trade with me, I'm in long before that, because I'm in the money flow. I'm watching it every fucking day on whatever stock I'm in. Right? And depending on the game plan, I may be, oh, good, bring this down a little bit. Why? Because I own Taco. I'm patient. I think it's going to double based on fundamental research. So I'm going to use the money flow to my advantage. Now, some things that may not be the game plan. Might want to get out. I like to state that in the very beginning. Hey, this is a swing trade. That means in and out. That's the definition of a trade. You don't go in, out, oh, I should have kept that. Then you weren't swing trading. No wonder you're fucking messed up in the head. You don't even know what you're doing. Moment of clarity. This all gets super simple. When you say, what do you mean? Meaning when you bought it, you knew what you were doing. Guy says, you think I should flip it or buy a house to rent? You understand that? It's like, should I get a fucking elephant or a giraffe? Like, they're totally different things, man. Think I should get this Honda Accord or buy this Lambo? Like, or this 22-foot bass boat? Huh? Should I get a jet ski or a comic book? Like, they're 2 different things. They both cost money. They both could appreciate, but they cost money. So if you're buying a jet ski, I assume you have somewhere to put it in the water, right? You have a boat ramp, lake house, right? What do you mean? That's a purchase of clarity. You don't buy that if you live in fucking New York City, right? Nowhere to take it, nowhere to park it. You don't buy a horse if you live in an apartment building, right? But people come to the stock market and trade, and they buy horses when they live in the apartment building. And then they're like, why did I buy this? I don't know. You tell me. What do you know about Shiba Inu? How's that going to work? Who's the actual customer of that? What company's going to use that? What is the reason for owning that? Is it just speculation? Then fucking say that. I think it's just going to go up because it's got a cool name. Then you say that. You know, what's the value case on Bitcoin? I have really smart people tell me all the time, oh, it ain't got no value. You're stupid. You may be smart, You may have went to college. You may have a lot of money, but you're wrong. You say, well, you can't say that. All right, let me back up to the entire lifetime of this asset. Let me know when that wasn't right. I mean, at what point, 23 years from now, and it's 260, you're like, yeah, I should have bought that Bitcoin. That's how it works, guys. You make the most money buying Exxon, not waiting for the breakout when everybody else thinks it's cool. Remember when Jim Cramer hated it and said oil was going to zero? Oh, this world doesn't want any oil. No hedge funds want to own oil. It's actually toxic. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. You keep putting that negative narrative out. I'll be a buyer at 30. Remember, we were buying at $28. You tell me when was the best time to buy oil. See, the reason you didn't buy oil at $28, you don't actually fucking believe it's an asset class. The moment you have moment of clarity, the moment you realize whether you like something or not, it's real. And people really own it to the tune of $1 trillion. Right? And that could be bonds, that could be yachts. I don't own a yacht, but some people do. And right now there's a yacht shortage. If you wanted to buy $100 million yacht, you'd be on a waiting list. If you wanted an airplane right now, you're on a waiting list. Does that blow your mind? But here you got poor people who won't buy Exxon that pays you. This asset pays you to own it. And right here would have been, I mean, we all can agree, according to today, looking back, and past performance is not indicative of future results, but it looks like that was a gift. I don't know. You tell me. You say, but what about opportunity cost? I don't see that. I see 100%. And I got paid to do it. Oh, and I got free shares because I kept these. So every time they gave me a dividend, it bought me shares. The dividends have doubled now. So it's not a 5% return. They're like, oh, that's a 5% dividend yield. Not for me, dummy. That is for you, maybe. But as I compound my shares lower, it brings down my price point. So the dividend they're paying today for a guy that buys it at 60, I bought it at 30 also. So some of my dividends are up here and some of my dividends are down here. Some of my dividend return is 12, 13%. You say, how's that possible? I bought it on a sale. Go look at MO. Look at MO. So if you bought it here, you get a higher dividend yield than the guy that bought it up here. And as you play this game out over years, I've owned this stock like 14 years. Take it back. Oh my, you can't get these dividends I got back here. Right? And if a guy started over here, and then this other dude started over here, you're all starting this game at a different place. So sometimes I have people come in, they've been trading real hard for 4 months. Well, look at this. Let's say you did it in this stock. Just pretend with me for a second. You understand what I'm talking about. And just pretend you understood this, that you started this game in 2017 and me and you were trading. Just pretend. Just like act like you understand what I'm saying. And you started playing. And then look, you'd be like, Gerald, this sucks, dude. I bought this motherfucker at 4. Like, you'd be like, this game is stupid. Oh, okay. Then it starts to turn. Well, all these free shares you got in here compounded. And then you bought some of these stage ones. When this thing starts to rip, you ain't got to get back up to here. Shit, you're already green. When it gets back to where it was, you're up 30, 40%. Now, what if you've been playing it for 20 years? Look at that run. Now, you might not, this stock may not do that for you, but there's other stocks that do that. So like 2 years ago, I'm begging people on Instagram, you need to buy Starbucks, man. You got to. I don't know. Go look at my old post, like 2018, 19. Let's back this up to a monthly. Yeah, Starbucks got down here in the $50 range. Here's the crazy thing. They started raising the dividend. This thing stayed $50 for like almost a year. And they say, oh, that's dead money. That's dead money. Opportunity can cost, Gerald. That's all dead money. Okay. I'm going to just keep buying. And I'm going to have a bigger position than you trade. And then what? Then I'm going to sell some. To do what? Buy some more. to then what? Sell some. Oh, I mean, we can do that, right? I don't know. That's what the money flow is, man. That's a different way of seeing life, seeing trades. And you can shorten that window in there if that's your goal. Okay? You could shorten that window. But a lot of you, in my opinion, me included, I'm not doing enough money to make it worth it, man. Large portion of your money should be dedicated to that long game. I'm not saying don't play a short game. Like, what do you see when you look at this? Here's what I see, an easy swing trade. Right? I got 2 accounts. I got this in my buy and hold, and then I pick up, say, 5 shares, 10 shares. Man, some of you guys could be playing this. You're not playing it because you're trying to go too big. You got 4 positions, a shit ton of money. You buy 10 of these. That's $1,100, right? Well, what are we going to try to do? We're going to try to turn it a couple $100, right? That may take a little time, but you got 15 poles in the water, man. Look at this rest point on Starbucks. This shit is so easy. Now, I've owned this. I've been playing the money flow with this since it was $50. Should we sell it? Oh my God, Janet Yellen's going to say something. Should I sell it? It might go down. Good. Good. If it goes down, that sets up for the swing trade. If it goes down, it also sets up for my buy and hold. I don't know about you, but I would rather own Starbucks here than here. But yet people are only happy when it's here. But here's the problem. It can't stay there, man. It comes down. So no matter where your account goes, if you're the guy, well, I'm only happy if it's going up. Well, then you're going to be sorely fucking mistaken because it's going to pull back. That's what the market does. This right here. And so if right now you're in shock because of stage 4 declines, you need to find something else to do with your time. You're not cut out for this. This is called fucking reality. That's what it's called. I get people are like boo-hooing. What are you boo-hooing? Reality? You didn't know stocks went down? I mean, do we need to have this conversation as adults? Like, if you got friends like that, you need new friends, bro. My friends call me. You know what they're like? Did you see FedEx? He owns a shit ton. I'm on the phone with him last night. You know what he's talking to me about? FedEx. Did you see FedEx? Literally have another person texting me asking me what should they do. In a total fucking panic because they started buying it at $2.95. You say, well, he should have got stopped out, but he didn't. He didn't get stopped out. Now he's sitting on it and he's down good. He's down here good. This game doesn't seem so fun to this guy. And yet, literally, within the same hour, 60 minutes, a different person calls me and goes, are you seeing this? We are both talking about the exact same stock. One guy's salivating, the other guy's panicking. Oh, I made a mistake. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, what do you mean? I bought fucking FedEx. Now I'm down like, I said, why don't you, what does the money flow say? And he goes, well, it says stage 4. Okay. What does that mean? Nothing? Yeah. Haha. Wait. What are you waiting for? Stage 1. That's where it stops and starts to go sideways. And what do we define that as? Price breaks out above the 5-day moving average. That's our trigger. Has Starbucks done that? Tried it. Didn't do it. It's holding support. I'd give it a minute. That's not ripping. It's building a box, but everything's still pointing down, man. You got to have either my boot camp or the stock charts, the money flow weight. Look, down, down, down. There's no sideways. It's holding support. And if you start to nibble here, that's fine. But look, the pressure is still down. You're looking that close? Yeah, man. Fucking scope. That is the first tick. Into the close, this could set up. See that right there? See that histogram? Tick. It's got a tick right there. And that tells me that this support held. And I could start to make a move on Starbucks. You say, does that help with options? Yeah. Yep, options, all that stuff. And you say, but does that help me day trade? Well, all right, if we're looking for, let's drop to a 1-hour chart on Starbucks. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So back in my really short swing days, day trading, quasi swing trading, what do we see setting up? Oh, I'm getting long. Probably put my stop right there to start. Set that bitch right now. It ain't a day trade. I'm gonna leave it as long as that stop holds. Where's my target? Right there. I'm gonna be a swing trader. Put on as many of those as you can manage. You want to be a day trader, you gotta make the position size larger. 25 G's, Starbucks. Don't be a little bitch. 25,000. Put your stop right there. That's what you're risking. Here's the return. You're a swing trader. Now wait. Put in the extreme low, right? So we sit and we analyze it according to the money flow. You're willing to assume this risk, and that's your first target. What do you do if it blows through it? Let it run. What are we looking for on the sales side? Right there. Right? Price goes below it. Builds a box, stage 3 box, starts to roll over. If you ain't doing that, it ain't going down. Right? So pick one. That's how you day trade. You'd go pick what stocks I got hood. Maybe you got 10 or 20 of them that you're looking for. What are you looking for? What's the direction on the daily? And can you jump it down to the 1 hour? So if I'm finding something building a base on the daily, and I think it could pop. It's Starbucks, McDonald's, FedEx, Nike, Beyond Meat, right? I could drop down. Now you're saying, well, Gerald, you don't talk about it. I gave you the fucking key to that. That's what the money flow is talking about. That's the entire book, man. These are targets. Where does price go? Where it's been before. So if you're in this, you know what it is. I don't know your time frame. So you can play this multiple time frames. If you're playing this to the buy and hold, guess what? Everywhere a trade would buy is a good buy for you too. It ain't complicated. There's just no selling. I'm just a buyer, not a seller. The only reason I'd be a seller in my buy and hold is the position has gotten too large. You've realized the 200, 300% time. You've been in it for 3-4 years, and you have 300-400% returns. I have tons of those, man. Maybe it takes a year, 2 years. I don't know. However long you're playing that. And then maybe you downsize it. Like BX. I had to take it down, man. Why? It just ran too big. 400%, man. Like 400. This has been in like 5 years. Look at this. No, guys, we should have just bought that. Well, I didn't know that. That's why you have more poles in the water. Look at this, dude. This came to me from the universe. I was watching Grant Cardone. He gave me this stuff. Grant Cardone talked about BX, Blackstone. So I bought it. And this is what happened. Guy said, well, I think that guy's a con man. All right. Well, he gives good stock picks. He doesn't even like stocks. That's the funny thing. Here's the funnier thing. Grant says he doesn't do stocks. He doesn't do stocks because they're dangerous. But that he's going to sell all of his real estate to Blackstone. This is Blackstone. So he knows who's the buyer of his asset, and he doesn't even know to invest in it. That's funny. That's like the kid that works at McDonald's and doesn't buy shares, or the guy that drives for Uber. Every Uber driver, I ask them, do you own shares? And they say, no. And I say, that is really stupid. In case no one told you. Seriously, stupid. I leave them with that. I ask every Uber driver. So I make a point to go around calling all Uber drivers stupid. They say, why is that? You should buy Uber. You're living fucking proof, dude. Like, you're in here collecting money in it. Like, come on, use your head. You don't need the company to hold your hand to make you see this. Same if you worked at GE or Ford. Like, you need to be told. They're paying you. Like, how much more do you need to walk up to someone and knock on the damn door, man? I met a guy's working at a restaurant. And I said, well, you know about restaurants then, right? Starbucks, McDonald's, Jack in the Box. Like, there's a huge cake. Like, there's a huge list of these. Denny's. Like, there's all kinds of these restaurants, man. You work at one. You must know more than me. You must have your ear to the ground and understand the industry, right? You drive a truck. You're in shipping. You understand FedEx. You at least could go look at their earnings call or look at what they're doing and say that's a good business or it's not a good business, right? That's not complicated, man. That's living inside the money flow. So who's the new McDonald's? Who's the new Facebook? And I don't mean they're in the same business. It ain't gonna be Facebook. Last time it was Microsoft, and before Intel, Cisco. That's not the new ones, man. The new ones is somebody else, right? Well, you don't think Microsoft ever went into a big downspin? You think technology just started selling off like when you showed up? Like, oh, this is so new. What is happening? My balance is going down. Yeah. It's called the stock market. Stop for effect. Right. And you just started. You say, I've been at this a year. You're a fucking baby. You just started. You just started, man. Well, I've been at this 2 years. Well, you don't even know what the fuck you're doing. You just got here. You can't possibly know. You think you know a lot and you've been here 2 years, you are delusional. Like you need to take it down a notch. You ain't even been through a full business cycle. You've never even seen an interest rate increase. Right? Like cycles, shit happens to you. So there's people now, they owned real estate for 7-8 years, had a virus. They said they don't have to pay rent. You think that's the only time we've ever had viruses in America? Like just skip history class? These things are all the same. Same shit, same stuff. I think it's the first time they closed the government. I had people literally DM me, should we get out because the government closure? 2011, go read it, Google it, put it in YouTube. You can relive it. What happened to the stock market the last time the government closed? Google it, and it'll tell you. And guess what it'll do? Stage 4 climb, set up on support, turn right around, bust out, it'll head up, and at the very low, it'll be like, damn, that was a good buying spot. At the very low, at the lowest, when you feel sick and you wish you weren't in it, that was the best time to buy more. And then it turns and goes up, right? All these sell-offs over here, that big sell-off, where was the best time to buy? The very bottom, right? When everybody goes, this is killing me. Is it? Is it killing you? Look, is opportunity killing you? Oh, it's killing me. Or all these killing you? So when this goes to what? When the Qs go to 520, you're like, well, it can't go to 520. Really? Let's see. Let's go to a monthly. Let's see. That seems impossible. If only we had a way of knowing what happened in the past. So each one of these days is 1 month of trading. If only we could look back in the past to see what might happen in the future. But they say you can't do that. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Okay. Okay, George. Yeah. It's not indicative. Now, this is the overall. When you leave the index and go down into the individual stocks that make up the index, the game gets different. The moves get bigger, right? The exaggeration kicks in, the ups and the downs. So now we're back to a daily chart. And there are people, this here to this here is really, really pulled back their accounts. Here to here. Here to here. This has been devastating. Here to here. So we go back to a weekly. Pause for effect. It's nothing. But if you started trading with me on this day, right? Let's say here, right up in here. Oh my God, we had 4 months down. 4 months! And then what? Reps. And then what? 4 months! And then what? Reps. And then what? 4 months. And people will blow out in those 4 months. Get all upset. Life is troublesome. And yet every one of these for the rest of your life, by the way, let me add the future. In your future, all of these 3-4 months straight down, remember when you were praying like, oh, I wish I could just find my opportunity. Oh, I wish I could find a chance. And then they deliver an Amazon box to your house. You're like, oh, real estate's so expensive to get into. Then they deliver an Amazon box to your house. You say, what are you saying? Opportunity is everywhere. So if you got in or went heavy over here, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, that was 5 months ago. That was 5 weeks ago. So you've had 5 weeks down. 5 whole weeks down. Look over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically 5. Look over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically 5. Look over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically 5. Look over here. Oh, this was a big one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's weird. So what does that tell you when you look at these? So when a guy tells me, oh, you don't understand though, Gerald, I got this in life and this is going on, then get the fuck out of the stock market, man. You don't live a life that's conducive to winning at this game. Let me just stop you. Let me just help you out, bro. So if the 4 or 5 weeks fucks you up, you're in the wrong game. You got to go play a different game. Maybe collect baseball cards or something. Maybe this ain't for you. Might not be for you. My friends, this is when I'm getting those phone calls. They're like, you see Walmart? Like, he owns a bunch of Walmart. He's like, do you see Walmart? It's setting up for a stage 1. Look where Walmart's stopping. So what does that tell you? Go look at all the retail stocks. Target, right? Go look at all of them, man. Are they coming into support zones? Are they coming in? Right? So it's on the right side, right? We want to be a seller into that if we're looking to sell or we're looking to swing trade. That's our target, right? Right? So if we're looking at this chart, we want to buy below the 20 when it sets up in a box, and we want to what? Sell when it sets up in a box on a stage 3. You're like, past performance is not indicative of future results. Okay. Okay, bro. We'll go with that. Oh, I agree, it's not. But it does look the same. Go get Ken Griffey. Sorry, I'm calmed down now. A lot of beautiful charts. I'm going to run through a couple I like and I'm going to get off here. I got to go do some work, man. I got to do some painting. SoFi, this is a stage 2 buy right now, SOFI. I would build my position. I got a nice position, so I'm probably not adding. Coin, always looking to add to coin. This is a great spot right here. I'd be adding to coin. I am adding, or will be. Look at Hood. Remember, I'm not a day trader. 50 cents here or there, whatever. Look at Hood. Hood's held that stage 1, headed back up. Target's about 40% higher. This is a new position trade for me. I plan to hold this for years and trade around it. Hood and coin are both new into the portfolio. Twitter, an old play. I don't keep... usually when I say a core position, I'm talking about half my size of a trade. So like I have a core of Facebook. When I put a trade on, I'll try to double it. Ultimately be double the amount. I'm in a full trade here. I didn't cut it. My stop zone is right around in here. I'm pretty loosey-goosey with it. There's our stage 2, my target up here on Twitter. We pulled back. You could have made a case to drop it. I didn't. I'm just not as scared as everybody else. It goes a buck down, whatever. Okay? I've been trading this for fucking 15 years. I'll be all right. So I'm looking to sell it at $72. If it goes into a stage 4, I'm not looking to buy. I'm looking to buy stage 1s, right? To sell at what? $72. Buy and hold account, real quick. Look at ET. This started its move up. This is easily going to $11.50. Most of the analysts have $15 targets on this. This pays a 7-8% dividend yield. This is a buy and hold. I would be adding to my position, but I have a shit ton. I have a full position. If I didn't, I would be trimming Exxon up here to add to ET down there. Like a trim. Sell 10 shares, move the 10 shares to ET, put in some new money in ET. You just increase your exposure by $700. Next week, it's still bouncing around in here. You buy a little more, a little more, a little more. And when it breaks and runs, and when it looks like that, you trim some to put in something else. And you keep doing that for the rest of your life, and you'll build out your portfolio. And people will tell you, well, you can't do that. You need to hire an expert. No, you don't. Just fucking read. Read, look at charts, get into the money flow, follow the stock market. You don't need you got it. You got everything you need in your brain. That was Exxon. Taco's my trade right now. We'll end with Taco. I think this one's gonna ramp, but I could be wrong. Be loosey-goosey with your stock. This is a $15 stock. It's just not there right now, and it's trading below the 200. You guys be good, man.